Here we are with the new first episode, the video where we talk about promising indie RPGs and strategy games in development but already playable through the early access program. As happened in the first episode, today 10 promising indie RPGs and strategy games to follow and maybe play if you want. But before starting, please remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting us through our member program, Patreon page and Buy Me a Coffee page. Lots of perks and mystery box awaits you. Anyway, let's go! Low Magic Age features an open world full of dungeons to explore. It's developed from Wizards of the Coast's open game license. So, Dungeons & Dragons players should have a little trouble getting the hang of things quickly. Wandering the world, completing quests and trading goods make the game feel like a more forgiving Battle Brothers. So, if you like the hard style of gameplay but like your characters to actually survive, then Low Magic Age could be a good choice. The rigid grid-based movement during combat is reminiscent of similar RPGs from the early 90s. Players who fondly remember games like Castle of the Wind could find that this is a game that stokes the fires of nostalgia. The early access build of Low Magic Age is available on Steam and GOG.
A land butchered by war, afflicted by pestilence.
Speaking of Battle Brothers, what if you got to be one of the landed nobility in that game instead of a bunch of unwashed mercenaries? Rising Lords from developer Argonwood gives you the chance to find out.
A leader with a strong hand.
The game's X-based combat looks and feels very similar, including the head and torso pawns representing each unit. It even has decapitations, albeit less unsettling ones, if such a thing can really be said to exist. Digging deeper, we find that Rising Lords has plenty of kingdom management that goes beyond filling your treasury and painting them up. Serfs conscripted into your army can level up and become mighty warriors, but if they're holding a sword, they aren't holding a plowshare. Agents can be dispatched to spy and spread misinformation to your enemies, and the game's system of counters and tactic cards can turn the tide of even the most hopeless situation. Check out Rising Lords' Steam page to learn more.
Rising Lords.
Mosaic Mask Studios seizes a lot of big names and inspiration for their sophomore titled Shields of Loyalty, Civilization, Fantasy General, Heroes of Might and Magic, the list goes on. It's an exciting project, and as it approaches the first anniversary of its early access release, Shield of Loyalty deserves a look by any fantasy strategy fan. As you explore the island of Mantaria, you'll find and recruit heroes to join your cause. Units can be merged into squads to give them a fighting chance against larger opponents, and random weather effects can force you to re-evaluate your strategy at a moment's notice. See for yourself at the game's Steam page. Live by the Sword Tactics is described by developer Labrador Studios as an unshamedly old-school tactical RPG with modern gameplay ideas. It's easy to tell what brand of old-school TRPG they are looking to emulate. The game's combat screams Final Fantasy Tactics in both style and substance. Live by the Sword Tactics has plenty of features that aren't present in the legendary PS1 title though. In addition to story mode, this game boasts both ranked and unranked PvP, a puzzle-like tactician mode, custom battlefields and, perhaps most intriguing of all, adventure mode. In addition to the early access build, the Steam page for Live by the Sword Tactics has a free demo available for players to try. This chill tile-laying game has been making waves since its early access debut in March of 2021. At its heart, Dorfromantik is the most relaxing city builder you ever played. You'll consistently draw tiles from a procedurally generated deck and find the best way to add them to your even-growing map. Casual players can build their world however they like, while players looking for a challenge can try to synergize their map for the best possible score when the deck runs out. Dorfromantik is the perfect cool-down game to play after a long day with your beverage of choice. With new tiles and even biomes to unlock with each playthrough, it will be a constant companion for gamers looking to find a zen. Both the game and its power-worthy soundtrack are available on Dorfromantik's Steam page and GOG. Developer Little Orbit could have made just another fantasy RPG with tactical grid-based combat. Instead, they came up with some fresh ideas and put them into an exciting package with the potential to push boundaries. Their fully developed world of Lasfaria has been ravaged by a decades-long war, and the player will see the conflict from both sides as the storyline plays out. Characters can be customized with unique appearance options, and Unsung Story setting exclusive fantasy races ensure that this won't be the usual lineup of elves and dwarves. The game's magic system is based around music, and coordinating your unit to create harmony will improve your performance in battle. That's an exciting enough idea as it is, but becomes positively tantalizing upon learning that the game is scored by none other than Hitoshi Sakimoto, the composer of Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy XII. Unsung Story has a lot going for it. Follow it on Steam to keep abreast of its progress. Deep strategic games often face a conundrum when they begin balancing for high-level play. Even the smartest EA can't reliably outplay a human. So, how can skilled players get the challenge thereafter? Often the answer is to just give the EA more stuff, more troops, more mana, more everything. Grid Slayer pushes this idea to its limit, ensuring the player is outnumbered and outclassed at every turn and requiring them to use their head to emerge victorious. At its core, Grid Slayer is a tactical deck builder. The game system allows you to modify cards on the fly, changing how they'll affect the battlefield once they are played. Elemental interactions produce tide-turning effects, and units gain momentum as they move, which will need to be considered as well. If you're really looking to test your tactical acumen, this is definitely one to check out. On Steam. 2PM Studios has decided to see what would happen if chess also had deck building and boss battles. In their whimsical pixelated title The Song of the Fae, a human bard has managed to wrangle an invitation to the annual Wizard Chess tournament that was previously exclusive to the fair folk themselves. Each run is procedurally generated right down to the EA priorities and personalities, giving the game a tons of replayability. Each move can dramatically change the board position. Have a look for yourself and see what the two-person team at 2 PM is crafting. On Steam. There are plenty of games about the might of Rome. Most of these put the player in control of the eternal city and her legions of her many enemies. Rise of Foederati takes a different approach to this formative period in history. The Foederati were tribes and city-states on the Italian peninsula who were considered allies of Rome, in that they were expected to provide tribute and troops if they didn't want a visit from the aforementioned legions. As the name of the game suggests, this time around you'll be playing as them. The battle in Rise of Foederati might be turn-based, but the world is persistent and updated in real time. This is a massively multiplayer strategy game, so the actions of every player will have an impact on the game world. The potential for alliances and other elements of PvP politics means that this indie title could produce emergent stories worthy of World of Warcraft or EVE Online. Visit Rise of Foederati's Steam page to learn more. Moa Cube's Bonfire is a deliciously irreverent take on blood-soaked grimdark fantasy. Your adventuring party of tragic misfit undertake a hopeless quest to defeat the forces of evil, and they are kind of here for it. Combat is quick and full of big swings in both directions, and as the developers put in the game, is built around crazy builds that somehow work. If you are the kind of player who willfully defies the meta at every opportunity, you could have a winner with Bonfire. It's refreshing to see a dark fantasy roguelike that doesn't take itself too seriously and revels in the absurdity of the genre. Swing by the game's Steam page and you too can gleefully cause your enemies to explode in a cascade of blood and gold. On Steam. This episode ends here. Let me know what you think about these 10 promising indie games actually in early access in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting us through our member program Patreon page and buy me a coffee page. Lots of perks and mystery box await you. Wish you the best. Ciao!